There is no character more loved and hated than the adoring fan, but this ridiculous excuse for an NPC is more than just a fantastic punching bag. There is perhaps something in him that we can relate to. So today we're not only going to look at what the adoring fan represents, but also his evil counterpart, Cicero. One of the first things I ever watched on YouTube was videos of people massacring the adoring fan. There was just nothing more cathartic than watching Oblivion's most annoying character get shot off of a cliff. But what I didn't realize at the time was that this guy was me. I was the adoring fan, and probably still am, to be honest. For if I'd ever come in contact with Todd Howard myself, I probably would have been acting the same way.
Wow! You're the grand champion. You're the best. Can I follow you around? I won't get in the way.
And that perspective changes the way that I think about this character, because outside of this context, I know that I'm a perfectly normal person, and the adoring fan probably is too. But that's not something we get to see, because from the perspective of the arena champion, this guy is just some crazy lunatic who ran up here and really needs to get away, please.
Can I carry your weapon? Shine your boots? Back rub, perhaps?
Yeah, security. Which means the adoring fan is actually a chance for us to look from the other side, to feel what it's like to be on the receiving end of a crazy fanboy, which as it turns out is something we don't like because most of the time, we end up murdering him. Which means I gotta give it to Todd Howard, because the fact that he hasn't killed one of us yet just shows that he is demonstrating amazing restraint. But what I think makes this even more interesting is the fact that Bethesda created a spiritual successor to the adoring fan, and his name is Cicero. Now, if you've ever read Cicero's journals, then you're aware that this guy actually posed as an adoring fan for a little while, pretending to be a lover of the arena champion, and then stabbing him in the back when they were in the woods. Now, I'm gonna say this straight out, that the theory that these two characters are the same person is definitely not true. But Cicero is definitely still an adoring fan. In this case, though, it's for the Dark Brotherhood. This guy is known as the Keeper. He holds onto the Night Mother's coffin, and he keeps track of the ideologies and histories of the Brotherhood themselves. But his main goal is to find the listener, someone who can hear the Night Mother speak and follow her orders. A thing that so far he's been unsuccessful in achieving. So his plan is to travel to the last Dark Brotherhood sanctuary in Skyrim in the hopes that maybe he'll find a guy there. But when he arrives, things are not quite how he expected. And by that I mean pretty much everything about the Dark Brotherhood has changed. These people no longer care about the Night Mother, they don't follow the 5 tenets, and they've pretty much abandoned worshipping Sithis.
Dignity. Sacrilege!
At this point, you can't even really call this place the Dark Brotherhood, which as far as Cicero is concerned, is basically blasphemy. So Cicero demands that if they want to stop being a bunch of traitorous hooligans, then they need to revert back to the way things used to be, which obviously nobody wants to do because they like the way things are now. So since these guys won't listen to reason, instead Cicero bars himself in his mother's basement and complains on YouTube about how things were a lot better when they had the class system and how RPGs nowadays aren't even really RPGs. Basically what I'm trying to say is that I've become Cicero. Which is a horrible thought, to be honest. I've put Oblivion on a pedestal, and I've criticized Skyrim for its changes, and at least as an outward representation on this channel, I've been very against a lot of the new things that Bethesda has been trying. Now, I don't actually know that Cicero is supposed to be a representation of all the toxic fans out there who hate everything that Bethesda tries to do, but the fact is it doesn't matter, because looking at this character, we can get a glimpse of what it's like to be on the other end. In the same way that the adoring fan showed us what it's like to be loved in a creepy stalker way, Cicero shows us what it's like to be hated for just trying to do new things. And if you happen to kill Cicero at the end of this quest, then that's basically the end of the story. He's a toxic fan who never learned his lesson, and he died for it. But if you happen to let Cicero live, things are a little bit different. I mean, sure, in a lot of ways, Cicero did end up getting his way because the Night Mother is back, there's a new listener, the Dark Brotherhood is basically reborn. But this Dark Brotherhood is still not the same that it once was. Things are different, and a lot of the new changes that were brought about still exist. Instead, what Cicero really learns is that not everything that's new has to be bad, but it also teaches us that it's okay to be critical, because sometimes our voices can make a difference, and in the end, we might be able to create something that's even better. But I've never actually learned that lesson, because since Cicero is an adoring fan, I've always killed him. I hope you enjoyed this unique look at the adoring fan, as well as his connection to Cicero. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Goodbye.
Golly, you're the best. I'm going to follow you and watch you and worship the ground you walk on. Let's go.